It's important to remember that when we shadow fight, that we always carry the work forward with us that we have learnt in the previous classes. We must make sure that we don't start bouncing all over the place and losing track of what we're supposed to be concentrating on. Trying to do or add things to the shadow fighting that are completely irrelevant to what we are studying will only confuse things even more. We will start to get lost and lose our focus, and this is completely detrimental to our personal development. So remember, stick to what we are learning, keep focused, apply a good attitude, and make sure to train consistently. Here in Class 3, we start by seeing KFM World Ambassador Greg showing the basic movements of the Pensador. The Pensador in its basic form is an aggressive defence in attack mechanic. And the objective in this part of the technical development is to give the Pensador a little fluidity, which will start giving the foundation to the ballistic motion that the Pensador is famous for. The three levels of the Pensatecho open up a universe of possibilities with endless applications, all of which will be investigated in time. Observe as Ambassador Greg demonstrates the high Pensatecho, followed by the middle Pensatecho direct, then the middle Pensatecho left, followed by the middle Pensatecho right, before showing us the Pensatecho low, left and right. Good observation is one of the elements that we need to focus on, as well as concentrating on the technical development of the Pensatecho. The way in which Ambassador Greg shows the Pensatecho is simple and slow. This gives you the chance to study the mechanic properly. Now we start making reference to some of the specific movements as far as the Pensador is concerned, like where we are in relation to the opponent and how to observe what is going on around us. This is the continuation of the Predator Alert. What we now start to do is develop our abilities with this new information, and as we accumulate more knowledge and understanding, so our ability and confidence will grow accordingly. By learning about the three ventanas of the Pensador, we can now start to develop our understanding and application of this amazing yet instinctive reaction. The Pensador is not a new technique or invention. It's a pure blood-driven instinctive reaction within the human. What KFM has done is evolve this expression into a radical and ballistic form of attack and destroy. We have just learnt about the windows in the previous section, and now we're going to take a look at the KFM concept regarding the doors of the body. What we are trying to do here is build a mental library and give reference to all the parts of the human body that we're going to target for destruction. By following an incredible methodology designed and created by KFM, purely as a consequence of real events, experiences and subsequent years of investigation, we will begin to develop a whole new way of understanding as far as street application is concerned. Combining the simple punches will make us use and develop our body mechanics even further. As a result of putting in lots of time and effort, Ambassador Roland looks really clean and crisp. His body mechanics speak for themselves. The work is only simple, but he looks really sharp, and this is the consequence of following a simple yet profound formula of learning. Look how Ambassador Roland now starts to use the Pensatecho more effectively whilst punching in combination. The reason we learnt the pentateccio early on in the programme is because we clearly don't need to keep our hands fixed on our heads constantly. For example, if we are in broken distance and our opponent cannot touch, there really is no need. But as we enter into the fight, our instinct will automatically take over, and the consequence of that instinct is that we will protect the head with a very good reason. And that's why we learn to punch with the hands from the head and not the chin area. Because in the middle of a fight, it's almost impossible to drop your hands low without receiving an unpleasant consequence. Focus pad work is great for interactive partner training. This is where we are able to develop good attitude and power, plus a great cardio workout. But we need our pad feeder to be active and alert the same as us. For this reason, a pad feeder in KFM must always apply the same attitude as the predator. When we start developing our work on the focus pads, it's extremely important to make sure that the focus pad feeder is in the same frame of mind, a predator. Bad or lazy pad feeders who stand there waving their arms around like they're trying to land an aeroplane will only inhibit our ability to train and develop properly. So the role of a pad feeder is vital and should be developed with the same amount of attitude as the predator. Let's watch as KFM World Ambassador Roland and Greg show the pence across on the focus pads. Look how the pad feeder uses the same predatory body movement as the predator himself. So let's take a look and see what we've got going on here. The predator alert as always, because we must carry this attitude with us every day. Habitual training is simple, but profound if the concept is applied properly. What else can we see here? The drag step footwork, forward, backward, left and right, mirroring of the partner, pensador, pensateccio, and the use of the ventanas. Again, let's watch as World Ambassador Roland and Greg combine the pensa jab, pensa cross. If we apply ourselves seriously, even the simplest of work will give us so much in return. Habitual training is simple, but profound if the concept is applied properly. As we all know, the street has no compassion, and we are all studying street application together. So we must constantly keep our mind alert and focused, even when training some of the more basic elements. Always applying the predator alert, because we must carry this attitude with us every day of our lives if we are to truly absorb the blood of KFM. Once we've learned how to throw a punch, we need to learn how to receive and destroy a punch. The pensador really is an amazing evolution of instinctive reaction with unlimited potentials. And now we start to enter and investigate this incredible subject of study. In the beginning, the predator learns how to receive a simple direct, circular and diagonal punch. As with all the work in this grade, the level of intensity is moderate, as we are still trying to concentrate on building a good foundation that will support all of our future investigation and development. Now we really start to open the door of action-reaction training. This will definitely start to provoke instinctive emotion and is one of our key areas of development in the early classes. Look how we keep the level of intensity low in order to keep good structure and mechanics. Don't worry about the speed yet, it will come with time and training. It's much more beneficial at this stage for us to have a sharp body mechanic and a really good predator alert attitude. Look how Ambassador Roland makes good use of the ventanas or windows before he strikes, and by concentrating on one thing at a time, in this case the pensa cross, he's able to keep good structure and good form. A simple observation. Look how much of the KFM training is done outside in the street. And as we are studying the subject of street application, it only makes good sense to train in the environment that we are studying. Combining the pensador with the pensa jab cross, we continue to develop our ability to punch from the hands on the head position. It should start to become a little more evident as to why we punch in such a way. If we receive an attack and destroy it with the pensador, it doesn't make any sense to drop the hands to the chin area to throw a punch. Send it from the position we're already in. It's much more effective, but it does take a little training. By using the two-man predator drill, we are constantly provoking and cultivating the instinct a little more each day. This kind of training has very serious lessons that we should be listening to and learning, but it's also great fun too. You look how this work is very simple in reality, but to catch the ability and functionality of only a simple punch takes a fair degree of work if we want a good level, which obviously we all do. Look how the work in this class has followed a simple process, developing the jab, then the cross, and finally the jab cross, with either one or two opponents. By following a strict methodology, we actually start to learn really fast, which is quite clearly our objective and the reason we are training. Predator alert drill can help us so much in the development of simple concepts and principles. One thing we must always remember whilst training is that we never fight with just one person in the street. If we carry this thought with us daily, it will reflect in our expression when we shadow fight or when we show our work. And definitely we will be provoking instinctive action and reaction principles. With this particular drill, it all starts getting a little bit more fun. The stress creeps in a little now, and we need to be on the ball. And if our pad feeders do the job properly, we really get some good training from this drill. There's actually quite a lot going on, even though the drill in reality is still quite basic, but nevertheless we are developing many incredible things here. Predator alert gets a really good workout here, as he doesn't have time to relax and think, only act and react. Hopefully we can already start to see that if we train and follow a good methodology, we can attain really good attributes pretty quick. Okay, now let's take a look at the final drill of this class before we conclude with the shadow fighting. Here World Ambassador Greg puts it all together. combining all the things that we have covered and learnt today. And remember, try to train outside sometimes if you have never done so before. It teaches us many things, but it's actually really good fun too. As always, we conclude this class with the shadow fighting. Let's watch as World Ambassador Roland expresses the work we have covered so far. He adds a little energy and attitude now and starts looking extremely crisp and sharp, but with very simple information. Now let's watch as World Ambassador Greg shows the shadow, but a little more relaxed. Look how he incorporates the elements around back into the shadow fighting. As with every KFM class that we make, we always finish with a dynamic visualisation. As we explained before, it's one of the most powerful ways of training the mind, and the more we do it, the better we will get. Let's get one thing clear though, there are no magic or super secret powers to be had by the practicing of dynamic meditation, just a strong and clear mind. In the end, it's a very powerful form of training and has many ways in which it can be exploited.